We're back at it again. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get into it. Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Everybody saying, come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. I said, we got so much to talk about. I said, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the come on. Hallelujah. Thank you for being here in the land of the living. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you are new to my kind of programming and content, I'm here to let you know that I normally talk to the Star family for about 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50 minutes before I get into anything. But this time I'm going to do it differently. I'm using a timer now so that we can get to it a little quickly. So I'm going to start my timer. I'm going to talk to you guys for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to get into it. Today, we're going to talk about some trending topics. We're going to talk about, the Barbz coming after our girl Meg again. We're going to talk about NFL licensing people. We're going to talk about Byron Allen trying to buy Paramount again. Poor thing. And then we're going to talk about our girl Britney Spears. Ciao. How are you all doing? Hey, Vodka. What's up? Thank you for joining me yet again. We are back at it again. Oh, there was something. I just remembered I had something else. Hold on. Hey, Shamiko. I said, no, night again. It's the evening where you're at. I'm here for the reviews. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that I have this time to share with my beautiful Star fam. There we go. All right. Alana said, back again. What a great Friday. I know that's right. Hey, Fareed, thank you for joining me again. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Alex. How are you? There we go. Hey, Shonda. Thank you for being here. Please look out for Shonda. She is one of my amazing moderators, and she throughout this live is going to be instructing you guys on how to make sure your girl gets to 2 billion followers by the end of the year. Thank you so much, Shonda. You are so great. I love our moderators. I could not do it without them. Thank you so much. Hey, Caroline, how are you doing? Hey, Multi. Hey, it's Latasha. Opulent pomegranate is here, guys. Hey, Megan. Hey, Megan. How are you? Opulent said, I just wanted to say, y'all make my day. I love this chat so much. Thank you for being here. Hey, Flolo. How are you? It's Latasha said that football wife might become the next billionaire with this clothing deal. And that's how it's designed, ain't it? Hey, Asatu. Hey, Donna. Hey, Spency. Spency said, hey, Star fam, excited for the mess. And the mess it is. Shonda said, I just wanted to flag that Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers' wife, Kia Tomlin. That's right. Thank you so much, Shonda. Put that up there. Some people said Nikki on Instagram sounded like oh, child. That line on your dead mama line. Poor thing. This is why you just make sure you keep your community with people who love you and want the best for you, don't want to take from you. There's nobody in her community, in her inner circle right now that loves her. Everybody's eating off of her, and they're going to eat her until she's devoured and nothing is left. My God, today. Shonda said, we got that on. El Boogie said, hey, y'all, here to Kiki, laugh and lurk. I know that's right. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Zana. Nisha said, I still have my mud mask on from the last live. I live 45 minutes out of Philly, Trump country. Oh my gosh. I appreciate all your love that you send out to everyone of all backgrounds. Thank you everyone for the B-Day wishes. Oh, thank you, Nisha. That was very sweet. Yes, come on in the room. Because we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room, everybody say, Shonda said, welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining NikkiStar Live. Please like and subscribe for more great content. Ooh, thank you, Shonda. Donna said, we got so much to talk about. Hey, Propel, beautiful name. Fareed said, Black History Month is already a mess. I hope it gets better. People like to act up during Black History Month, but they don't know Black people like the joke. So we don't take nothing serious. So we got jokes for all the mess. Let's go. Can I tell you, there was so much to talk about? I'm like, I might have to do these twice a week. Ryan said, okay, boo, set that timer, because you know we can go on. We can go on. And as the channel is growing, I want them to see that we have order over here. Some people said your singing makes me want to visit a Black American church. Well, I want to tell you this right now. You visit a Black American church, they will do 1 billion times better at singing than I do. Baby, a Black church will have you travailing. They will make you think you are at the Father's feet at the altar. Hallelujah. Fareed said, now Megan, oh, yes, you got it before I can even breathe that up. That's right. Our girl sure does. Our girl sure does. I wanted to make sure I have that for you guys. She sure does. Checkmate. God don't play about her. Always has the last laugh. The Lord don't play about our little sis. He don't play about her. I am Miss Asia. How are you? Hey, 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 hey. Spency said, Black History Month already has the girlies fighting, aka. That was the craziest story. I still don't know what happened. All I know is that Jacquees got his dreads pulled out. Like, what? Everybody's spiraling. Everybody is spiraling. It's insane. It is insane. So glad you're here. Cam Delete said, what's up, Nikki? I love that I'm home on a Friday to watch a live. Thank you for being here. I'm telling you, it's something about, I don't know. I feel like when I hit my 30s, Friday used to be like, I don't know what it was, but in my 20s, Friday and Saturday were the nights that I went out. Sunday was when I spent time with my family. It was like a chill day. But like when I started to get up in them 30s, Friday became my chill day. Saturday is my errands and event day. I'm not doing anything on Sunday but praising the Lord, and that's it. I even make Sunday dinner on Saturday because I'm in such a relaxed mode. But I'm also relaxed on Saturday. When I get off of here, I'm making dinner. I'm watching Ready to Love and Love After Lockup if it comes on in time. And that's it. And I'm going to bed. I don't do nothing on Friday nights. Nothing. That's crazy. Lori, yes, I am. I was going to start doing reviewing Love at the Lockup on Saturdays, but I just feel like that's my errand day. I think that's a lot of people's errands day, and I just don't know if you guys will be home at the time, because if I would do it, it would be 12 for me. So that will probably be 3 for you guys. And I think that's such a weird time, or, probably earlier or later for people in different countries. And I think it's just such a weird time of day. So I'm going to do them on Monday with The Real Housewives of Potomac and 90 Day Fiance. So that's going to be my lineup for Mondays moving forward. Because I just, with Love After Lockup, I just don't know when it's going to come on YouTube TV. And that might change for me. I might go back to reviewing it on Friday nights if I change my if I change from YouTube TV to Philo or Sling TV. We are going to see. But if not, Love After Lockup will be on Monday. Thank you for asking, Laura. Blue Jay said, hey, Miss Nikki, I'm curious about, before I get into this, I also, Laura, did the latest Love After Lockup episode on Wednesday or Tuesday, I believe. So if you want to check out that live, it's up there. It's in my reality TV chat. Blue Jay said, hey, Miss Nikki, I'm curious about the Megan segment. I don't mind female rappers going gutter butt to each other, but I think the beef needs to be grounded, maybe? Founded, but maybe I don't know their beef. There is no beef, right? It's an older woman who does not know who she is or where she is in her career, and she feels like she has to continue to fight for relevancy, but she doesn't have to. And she is jealous of what the younger woman is doing in her career, because she probably would like to have done what she's doing younger and without making some of the sacrifices that she had to make, right? But instead of reveling in the fact that she's an icon in her career path, she's reveling in the fact that she feels like she is being overlooked and is being pushed out in favor for somebody younger. But she's the only one who sees that. Nobody else sees that. And it's so unfortunate. That's why you have to have the right people around you. That's why you have to stay grounded and humbled. That's why you have to make the entertainment industry your career and not your life, because the whole thing is for entertainment. And a lot of it is an illusion. A lot of it is people playing characters to make people feel a certain way, to get financial gain from out of them. You know what I mean? So it's not something that you need to rest in, because if you rest in it, you lose yourself and you start to become the character that you're playing, and no longer is the person who you really are able to exist in this character that now has just become, unfortunately, this demon that has possessed your body and taken over what little bit of humanness that you have left. It's very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate, because everybody sees it, but she don't see it. And if she don't see it, hope it's not too late. Hope it's not too late. Hope it's not too late. Even if you don't like it, keep her in your prayers, because this is a sad situation. And how it looks like it's going to go, I would hate for that to be the result. Some people said, Nikki, did you see the Azealia Banks video on Meg? No, I did not. And I'm not going to engage in anything concerning Azealia. Here is why. There's something going on there. I don't think that young woman as well, and she has mentioned that. The same reason why I don't talk about Kanye West. We're not talking about people who are there. There's some suffering, there's some pain there, there's some instability, and there is some therapy and medication that is not being taken. And although people may agree or disagree with what she's saying, I never taken any of her content, because I know that it's coming from an unstable place. And like with this, I'm not, and that's another reason why I don't talk about Nikki. I'm just talking about the Meg situation, everything concerning Meg. But yeah, I'm just not going to take in that content, because I feel like that's somebody who is not well and is just being taken advantage of by fan bases, and people are running with the things that they're saying, and nobody's running to help them. And I get it. It's very hard to help adults who are breaking down mentally, physically, or whatever. Like, if they don't ask for it, you cannot do anything. But it's just very heartbreaking, because again, I was there from, like a lot of us was there from the beginning of her career, and we all knew where she was going, but something happened. And I kind of believe that something happened to her in this industry that triggered something traumatic, that triggered these episodes that she's now starting to have, that everybody gags over. Everybody, oh, she said this, she crazy, she this, she that. Something happened to that very young woman. And I'm starting to think, as she speaks more, that there's some kind of sexual trauma that happened to her in this industry, that happens with so many people in the industry. And, we, the consumers, write them off as being, ungrateful or druggies. And, how we treat people who need help in society. We start to treat the people who are on a pedestal and whose content that we consumed and loved, we start to treat them as pariahs, and nobody's questioning the environment that they were in that resulted in who they are today. Nobody questions that environment. Like, I don't want to bring up Dave Chappelle, because Lord knows what's going on with him. But when he turned down the $50 million, he did an interview, and he was like, everybody was saying that I was crazy because I turned down of the $50 million. But was I crazy, or was the environment that I was in sick? And I think that's what's happening to a lot of these celebrities, performers, entertainers. But I think as a society, like we do with people who are not celebrities, who are not rich, who are not popular, those same people we have in our families, those same people we see in our neighborhoods, we write them off as, social pariahs. Like, oh, this person is, homeless, write them off, throw them away. Nobody's looking at the environment into which this person became homeless, right? Nobody's looking at the foster system that is corrupt, that is evil, that is trafficking children. And that's how this person ended up on the streets at this young age. Nobody's looking at the prison industrial system that we have here and how it uses human beings, putting them in prisons on petty things that they shouldn't even stay in or be incarcerated for. There's a young, not a young black man, he was young when he went in, but an older black man who just got released from prison for I think he did almost 60 years over stealing a loaf of bread, right? But he didn't have money, so he stayed in there. And we think, oh, you're a prisoner, so you deserve this. You deserve to be treated that way. But nobody is looking at the prison system that is incarcerating people who don't need to be there, right? We don't look at those systems. We don't look at the entertainment industry. We see young girls starting to dress very, very sexual. We're just like, oh, she's fast, she's this. But nobody's looking at the environment in which she's in. Nobody's looking at the fact that a lot of those kids, a lot of those entertainment kids are being sex trafficked by their parents to producers and directors. Also, these kids can make money. And then when the kids grow up and they hate the parents, Jeanette McCurdy writes a book about how she hates her mom. Everybody's like, oh my God, but that's your mother. If your mother trafficked you, you can absolutely hate her. But nobody checks those environments. We just write people off. So I said all that to say, I don't engage in conversations about her because I think that something happened to her in this industry. And I think it's a lot easier to be shocked by the things she says, because if we have to look at how she became that way, then the mirror is on us and how we treat others in our environment who are like her, right? How we look away at things that happen to people like that and don't do anything about it. So it's just easier to write her off as a nut instead of looking at the environment in which made her this way. So I don't engage in anything about her. I pray for her, and I wish the best for her. I really, really do. So I just anything about her, I just don't. Poor baby. Elbogie said, hey, Nikki, got you in the background while I try to tackle some schoolwork. Yay! We are back like we never left. Thank you, Shonda. Please like the video and subscribe to get Nikki.Star to 16K subscribers. Thank you. Persephone Jones. Yay, it's been forever since I made a live. I'm always replay gang. Thank you for being here. Love you too, Bria. Back like we never left. Miss T. What's up, Emirio? Hey, Boo Sola. How are you? Missy, happy Friday. Nikki and Star fam. Hope you all are well. Thank you. Fareed said, I don't know if it's on the topics, but did you hear the tea from the girl who plays in the Bear? An old interview surfaced where she said J-Lo can't sing, and now she's hosting SNL with her. Yeah, guys, I might be in that same situation. Support me if it ever happens. It's Latasha said, foot, shout out to, don't you dare. Propel said, Nikki, would you be interested in reviewing movies on this channel too, like Saltburn? You know what? I'll probably do that this weekend. I'll probably watch Saltburn this weekend. But yeah, I think my channel started off like that. And I think the reality TV shows just took off and I just went with that. But yeah, absolutely. Some I won't review just because of relationships that I had and I got to protect those. And also, if you're looking for like an honest critique, I can't give that. Outside of relationships, I'm an artist, I'm a creator as well. I know what it takes to pitch a movie, to get it made, to cast it, to get it funded. I know all of those things. And even if something is not for me, I don't want to, if I don't like it, I don't want to share it with the world because these are people, these are my fellow creators, right? And I know the blood, sweat, and tears that they put into it. I might not like it, but I know the blood, sweat, and tears that they put into it. I think if anything, I might talk about stuff that I enjoy. I might do that, but I'm not really going to give any harsh critiques of anything because this is a very hard industry. And if you get a movie made, it's a freaking miracle. Fareed said, and apparently J-Lo didn't show up to do the skit because she got mad. It's going to be interesting. She can get mad, but she can't say anything. That won't work in her favor. And I'm just being honest. She's very popular, but the fact that I think you're talking about AO, she's a Hollywood sweetheart right now. She's a young Hollywood sweetheart, and J-Lo speaking negatively on a young Hollywood sweetheart who was Black and has a very large white consumer base, young white consumer base, the same girls that go up for Taylor go up for her, it wouldn't be smart on her end. So she can't say anything. She can get mad, but she can't do nothing. Missy said, are we going to talk about Wendy Williams' documentary trailer? Not the trailer, but we're going to talk about the documentary when it comes out later this month. It's going to be hard to watch. Absolutely. I miss Wendy sending prayers that she gets healthy in all aspects in her life. Listen, I also enjoyed the Wendy Williams content as well. But we also have to be honest that she wasn't nice, right? And I feel like I feel like if you were old enough to remember Wendy Williams on the radio, the one y'all got on TV, y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea. I do feel bad for her, but I'm not going to necessarily say that I miss seeing her on my TV because some of her takes were god awful. Some people said if we had Wendy Williams today, she would. She would be eating. It was a mess. It was a mess. I'm not talking about that. Do not bring your ghetto over here. But we are absolutely going to talk about the documentary. You're disappointed in me? What'd I do? Oh, Nicki Minaj. I'm like, it's N-I-C-K-I. Girl. Some people said, Asalia Banks said the real beef is with Jay-Z and Beyonce. That I do agree. I think that's what it is, but she can't say it. She cannot say it. February 14th, Valentine's Day. That's true. Smitty said, I honestly think the booger sugar is messing her up and that weirdo husband. Yeah. Same thing happened to beloved Whitney Houston. Tragic. I pray she gets free. Donna said, it's sad that what her legacy will end up being because of what's happening. She can salvage it, but she has to get rid of everybody in her life. And that's hard to do, especially when a child is involved. Malty said, yeah, I think Nikki doesn't have the right people around her, so she won't listen to the right people around her because she's stubborn. It happens all the time. Blue Jay said, I do wish our Black leaders and elders would get help, especially if you have time, resources, and money to heal themselves. I hope she wakes up if something happens. The issue is our Black leaders are capitalists, and we're doomed. The Black leaders are capitalists. They'll sell us out for $1. So we're doomed. We don't have any leaders who are not controlled by capitalism, and capitalism in this nation is white supremacy. So we're screwed. We are screwed. That's good to know. That's good to know, sub people. That's good to know. Well, yeah, and a lot of the trans icons have been saying it's because they think that he probably got rejected by one of the dolls, and it's absolutely given that, Dave. I gotta be honest, it's absolutely giving that. Smitty said, OMG, I can't wait for the content creator families to be exposed. The kids should have rights to not be forced to have their lives recorded. Absolutely, but that law has to get passed. And if nobody's like engaging and hounding on it, it probably will take a long time. Cam said, I hate the idea that you can't hate a family member. I mean, why not? Listen, it's a bunch of mofos I don't rock with, and I got the same DNA as them. Flolo said, people need to be held accountable when they're wrong. I'm a fan of Nikki, but I'm Team Meg on this one. Absolutely. She's been way off base. Fareed said, I think Nikki is too much on the internet. I get that she has to talk to her fans, but she's too much on Stan Twitter. If she don't have the right discernment, she's going to engage in unnecessary beef. What did I tell you guys? The downfall of every great woman is a man. The downfall of every great woman is a man. It's the saddest thing. And it doesn't have to be that way. It could, you know, a lot of these women can have a Dolly Parton situation, but they trust the wrong guy. They trust the wrong guy too much. Too much. Hey, Greta, thank you for being here. I want to get a couple more, and then we are going to get into it. I apologize. I know I wanted to start at a certain time, but, you know, I went off on an Azalea bank. I won't say. I had a moment where I talked about Azalea Banks. Oppian said, I agree with whoever said we need Wendy Williams back. When the world needed her most, she vanished. Those memes are hilarious. She absolutely does. And Ashanti tours on those songs because she wrote them and sang them. And she probably would have been a bigger star than J-Lo had the black man that J-Lo was dating not interceded in that. Every successful woman in the industry who's not black got a black man behind them opening doors. Ain't that something? Smithy said J-Lo can take her way out of not being able to sing. We're going to see. Propel said, yay, I'm excited. I love to hear an actress's perspective on that sort of stuff. Thank you so much. I'm going to get into it. Blue Jay said, I'm going to be honest. If J-Lo said something, everyone would agree or turn their heads like, well, we'll see. Denial is not a river in Egypt. She was a mess on the radio. Shonda said, Winnie's interview with the late Whitney Houston, Wendy. And Mariah Carey lives in my head rent-free. She was a menace. Radio Wendy was wild. I can't believe she was able to get away with what she was saying back in the day. How you doing? Wendy Williams started her career outing black men in the industry. That's how she started. That's how she got big. How you doing? And Puffy was one of them. Always out of pocket, opulent. Always. Always out of pocket. Oh, Susan. And TR said, hey, Nikki, hey, Star fam, wrapping up work and prepping dinner. Looking forward to this. Thank you so much for being here. No, I got it. Thank you, Shonda. Yolande said, I worked in the same building with Wendy when she was on 107.5, and we would take the elevators all the time. She is funny, but I was always afraid to speak with her. She's funny, but messy. You got to have boundaries. Malty said, who told it was the right idea to get with her husband? I think time. I think she was getting older and she wanted to have a child, but she didn't want to have a child out of wedlock. Please just get a sperm donor. Please. Yasmin said, I agree, Nikki. Wendy could be unbearably vile. Absolutely. I feel bad for her and I do miss her hot topics sometimes, but she wasn't okay for a long time. Yep. Cam said, I don't understand how a woman can be attracted to a man that harmed a woman like that. I don't care if he was 15. Well, if you were raised in an environment with men who harm women and the men and women in your life protected men like that, it's not shocking that you are with a man who does the same thing, because in your community, in your environment, men like that are to be protected, which is what she's doing. Yeah, the Dow's been talking about him. And I'm just like, I just do not understand how people come from the LGBTQ community, because that community alone and sex workers could crumble this nation. No war, no financial crisis could do what sex workers in the LGBTQ community could do within seconds. I will leave them alone. Some people said maintaining a legacy was so much easier before social media. If MJ and Whitney had social media when they had their scandals, we would not see them the same. True. Dolly Parton, she's been married to her husband for all of her life, basically. We never see him. I don't think anybody knows what he looks like. He supports her. He loves her. He ain't never had her name in no mess. We don't know what he looks like or sounds like. All we know is that he loves her. And if you're a woman who's a star, you better make sure you get with a man who has no aspirations for being in the spotlight. If so, you in danger, girl. And that might not be the case for all, because there are a lot of couples who, you know, according to B. Vance and Angela Bassett, they made it work. But a lot of women get with men who do not have wings. And those men want to clip their wings, put them in a cage, and put their wings on them and fly high. But he can only fly as long as she is caged and as long as he has her wings. As long as he's standing on her shoulders, that's the only way he can ever get air. It happens so many times. It happens to men as well, but women are the ones who give everything over because of how society raises us, how we're raised in our communities and society sees us. It's bad out there. It's bad out there. We doing, girl, what's going on? How you doing, love by you? Shonda said, please like the video and subscribe to Nikki to get Nikki Star TV to 16K. Thank you. Thank you. So Steph said, you keeping me company today, flat ironing my hair now for my date. I know that's right. I know that's right. Yup. Yolande said, when Total came to beat her up at the pup sent them to get her, Kevin protected her. From that moment on, Wendy was hooked. Yep. Missy said, I don't understand how you can have a child with that person that can't come to school. It happens all the time. There are women who marry men in prison. Murderers. Child molesters. Child murderers. Multi said, I swear it would have been better if Nikki got Safari as a baby dad. Oh, ain't that? And that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. Yep, Stedman, get yourself a Mr. Dolly Parton or a Mr. Oprah. We never see Stedman. We never hear Stedman unless Oprah wants us to see or hear from him. Ever. The Internet Age said you never see Dolly's husband. I think there's only one picture of that man on the internet. Yep. And it's from the freaking 50s. That's what I want. That's what I want. Oh my goodness. I can't get Lifetime. I watched one episode. It was so good, but I can't get Lifetime. Yup. We only saw him at the wedding. We still don't know his name or what he does. And I can't even make his face out in the crowd. That if you are going to be a powerful woman, you're going to have a powerful man who gets that you are going to have a spotlight on you. Not many men can stand in that position. It takes a great man to stand next to an even greater woman. You can't find men like that today. You can, but I'm saying they're very rare. If you get one of them, hold on to them, girl. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right. I've got into the comments. Let's get into the show. First up, we're going to talk about, I do not know how to say this woman's last name. It's Kristen. Kristen Kajikaja. She is, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. You changed my browser. Hold on one second. Change my browser. What's going on here? There we go. Sorry, guys. Mother had to change her browser. Jessica. Well, she is a young woman who is married to an NFL athlete, and she just secured a licensing deal with the NFL after her jackets go viral. So Christian Jakaja, whose sleek NFL, this is from ABC News, whose sleek NFL jacket designs took the internet by storm after Taylor Swift and Simone Biles was seen rocking a Travis Kelce themed jacket at a recent Chiefs game, is primed for the next step in her exploding designing career. Jakaja, wife of San Francisco 49er fullback Kyle Jakaja, secured a licensing agreement with the NFL for men's and women's apparel, the league confirmed by ABC News. Jakaja uses jersey-themed designs elements and much of her work, displaying jersey numbers, last name stitching, team colors, and patterns sewn together. A video of Kristen's Instagram page of making Taylor Swift jacket shows her threading it with Kristen's design tag while working with a sewing machine to craft the winter jacket. Kristen also gained attention for the unwavering support from her husband, Kyle, who was active on social media, drawing awareness to the fact that his wife designed these headline-making coats. There's more to that, but I want to stop there. I wanted to talk about this because I thought it was so interesting because I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I saw her video on TikTok, and then I saw everybody, all of a sudden Taylor Swift and this woman's jacket went everywhere. I knew this was coming because it's designed to work this way for the white community. That's just how society is right now, right? And I remember when I first saw her designs, I was just like, of course. Of course. Of course. Nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is new under the sun. I will say you can apply for a licensing deal. The NFL doesn't. If you do, you can apply for the NFL. It doesn't happen this fast or this quick. And people who get that licensing deal is not going to make as much money as this young woman. Because if you look at her designs, all of her designs are ripoffs from Black designers from the 90s who are making these kinds of, or who are probably still making these kinds of designs. Remember when we were all wearing jersey dresses? Remember that? Remember when we were all, cutting numbers out, jersey numbers out, bedazzling them? Remember that? 90s Black American streetwear culture. I would not be surprised if this young woman has every Vibe magazine from the 90s and early 2000s, and she is going through ripping those designs apart and putting her name in the NFL on them. I'm not mad at homegirl for working the game because the game always works out for her. It always works out for people like Kristen, but it never works out for the originators. Yes, there will probably be Black people who will be doing the same thing, but nobody's going to make as much money as Kristen. Nobody's going to be able to get us in many rooms as Kristen. And she's going to be using people's designs, and there's nothing that they can do because who is going to have the money or manpower to fight the NFL? She won. She won. And none of these designs are an original idea from her. None of them. Because, hello, look at 3LW back in the day. Hello. Bam. Hello. We've been doing this. We've been doing this. But because she put that same design on her, she's going to flourish. She is going to flourish. Hello. We've been wearing this. We've been doing this. And people are like, oh, Black people, you can still do that. You can still create. We're not going to get a licensing deal from NFL. Because even if you do get it, they have to approve everything that you make. They're absolutely going to approve everything that she makes. Why? Because Kristen is putting her garments that she's ripping off of Black designers onto Taylor Swift, who has a deal with the NFL. I don't care what nobody says. This relationship is PR for the NFL, right? Taylor Swift and Kelsey, their relationship with the NFL is PR for the NFL. Here is why. Since the Black Lives Matter movement, the NFL has been losing steam. Then you add on to a lot of players and their families starting to speak out about the effects of CTE, because a lot of these family members are donating their family, their family members who have passed away, committed to unalive themselves. They are giving their brains over to science, to doctors to study. And we were finding at that time that all of these players who spazzed out, all of these players who started acting unlike themselves. All of these players who took their lives all had CTE. So Black Lives Matter, players coming out with CTE. The NFL was losing steam. Of course, they were making money. They were not filling the seats like they were before, right? So what is the smartest thing to do? You latch on to the one person who has a huge fan base, but is not Black, because they could not latch on to Beyonce, right? So they had to latch on to another kind of Beyonce, a Beyonce that's palatable to a certain sector of the white community, right? The freaking Swifties. The freaking Swifties. So you latch on to her, and now nobody's talking about the freaking game. Everybody's talking about Taylor Swift. The NBA even had her picture as their logo for a moment. The NFL even had her picture on all of their social medias as their logo for the moment, right? So nobody's talking about how they were against their players even participating in any kind of social justice that would help or free their people. Nobody's having that conversation anymore. Now everybody is starting to forget, and now everybody's going to the games. Everybody's looking at this NFL love story. Nobody's talking about those players who have CTE. Because before that, remember, they started to have the conversation. I think it was like 2 or so years ago, they started to have the conversation about changing how the game operates, how players hit each other, changing the helmets, changing the padding. That would take money. You would take billions of dollars, because you got to put it in research. And then finally, when you get the research, you got to put it into production. That's money. And what we have all learned about wealthy people, they don't want to spend a damn dime, but they want to make every dime. So nobody's no longer talking about the social justice of the NFL athletes. Nobody's talking about Black Lives Matter. Well, in that space, right? Because Jay-Z came on, but then everybody started to come after Jay-Z and be like, what are you doing? Move on from what? Move on from the injustices that Black people are dealing with. So Jay-Z had to back up, because that was becoming a problem with him. So now you don't hear nothing about him in the NFL. You just hear about the halftime show on Jay-Z. But you don't hear about Jay-Z sitting down with the owners of the NFL. You don't hear that conversation anymore, because that was bad PR for him. So what is the next thing that you do? You can't get Beyonce, because look at what happened to her husband when he started talking. You get Taylor Swift. And now it's all about her and this love story with this player. And you milk it for as long as you can milk it, because that is going to be a huge issue, because you got two people who want to be the spotlight. That's what I was talking about. Travis don't want to be in nobody's shadow. He want his woman to be in his shadow. And he's only going to go along with this game plan for so long. So now you got this huge PR fiasco, and Kristen is eating off of it. And every other woman who aligns herself with them, all them NFL wives are now aligning themselves with her, putting themselves in their box, because it's profitable now. They're going to be able to eat for as long as they can eat off of this. It's a distraction. It's a distraction to put money back into the NFL's pockets, and it's working. And it's working. But I don't know if this licensing deal is going to take away steam from that, because everybody's just like, now, hold on a minute. But Kristen is going to do well. She's going to be protected. She's going to make a lot of money for as long as this trend is going to hit. And I say that as long as this trend is going to hit, because Black people are going to create something else. Something else is going to be very popular. And then Kristen won't be able to sell these jackets for the price that she's selling them anymore. Now she has to make them affordable for the working class people who buy those tickets to come to the NFL, to come to see these games. So she'll still make a good coin, but she'll probably move on to something else, because it's not going to be as much money and it's not going to be as popular. We will see. Only time will tell. But it always works out for the people it's always worked out for. And there's nothing the people whose design she steals can do about it. Because who's going to go after the NFL? Unfortunate. Unfortunate. What do you guys have to say? I'm going to put on my timer and we will chat for 10 minutes and then I'll move on to the next subject. I got that. I got that. Spencer said the way white women get the spotlight over black women who were doing it back in the early 2000s, it works that way all the time. Every time. This is why white women will never fully join the movement for I hate to say feminism because it's such a feminism is so lackluster today, but they'll never fully join the feminism movement. What do they gain? Well, they already have so much. And they're going to have to give up so much to fight for the rights of women. It'll never happen. The feminism movement will not be able to reach the heights that it can reach with the majority of white women. It's not going to happen. We're going to have to take the white women that we got and move forward because it's not going to happen. And I get it. I get it. They're going to have to give up the world to get the unknown. They're not going to all join the movement. You're going to move on. You are going to have to. Oh, Juchek. Kristen Juchek. What did I say? Juke. Juchek. Thank you. Simone Biles was the first person who started wearing her stuff. But when Taylor wore that jacket, the NFL focused in on her. She is their great distraction for right now. Taylor's making a huge coin. Trust and believe. She's making more than her man. She's already making more than her man for her music, but that NFL check that they cutting her, it ain't even close to the pennies they're paying Travis if you want to compare what they're giving her. She is making a nice coin off of this. A nice coin. Yeah. But that's how it always works. Put that up there again. Absolutely. And she's been doing it longer. Anything. So I'm telling you, it's all a trend. But when we move on to something else, she'll go there. But for the time being, she's going to make a lot of money. Juchek. It's just so many letters that I'm like, where are the vowels? Where are the vowels? Love by You said, I low-key hate how cringe Taylor Swift has made the NFL. Well, the rebrand is not for you. It's not for you. It's for all of the white people who never thought of a marginalized community before, or who never saw the plight of Black people before, who, due to, quarantine and due to, oh my goodness, I hate that I forgot this young man's name. Due to the Black man that was killed by that police officer, and there was a shift. There was a shift in the atmosphere, and that was a large majority of their consumers, right? Because Black people, of course, we've been screaming about this forever, right? So Black people already were doing what they were doing, protesting and all of that, right? But then when we were all home and everybody was able to see the plight of the Black community, especially watching that man's life be taken on TV, we all watched the public lynching, right? There was a shift. And those people who would go to those games religiously, all of a sudden started to question the NFL. That never happened before. And even if they didn't agree that there was any kind of injustices being done to the Black community, now going to those games and supporting the NFL was you were looked at as, somebody. It was like a bad thing, right? You were like a pariah. So the people who got it got it. Then the people who didn't get it still couldn't go and enjoy the game or participate in anything of the NFL because they would be judged. And that's how those things happen. But now you bring in the white Beyonce and everything's great. You craft this love story with the beloved player. Let me tell you something. That Patrick, Mr. Mahomes, I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. Oh, I know he can't stand this. He's the quarterback. He's the quarterback. Ain't nobody focusing on him. Baby, I would love to write that script. I would love to write that movie or series. My God, today I can only imagine what goes down in them locker rooms, right? But they craft this love story and everybody focuses on that. Everybody focuses on this love story that the NFL put together. And everybody loves the NFL again. Everybody loves consuming it and watching it because you can make the excuse, I'm not watching the game, I'm watching Taylor Swift now, right? Or I'm watching the Mr. Swift play the game. Like, it's all become about her. Nobody's talking anymore about the issues that were brought up concerning the NFL. It's smart. It's absolutely smart. Just like Biden's about to hit us with some money. He's about to start up again for giving people's loans because people are not okay with how he has been leading. It's going to happen, and everybody be distracted again. All of a sudden, nobody cares anymore about the issues that they have with him. Trump did the same thing. All you got to do is distract the masses, and you're good. And you are good. I don't know nothing about that man. All I know is that he's married to a Greek. But she was the first one who started wearing his stuff, right? But it's Simone, right? She's a great, but she's not Taylor Swift. And her husband is an unknown. Everybody knows Kelsey. Lovable guy. Everybody loves him. He doesn't give off the cop, the Boston cop feel that a lot of the white football players give off. So everybody loves him, everybody enjoys him, and he's good for TV because he's been on a few TV shows. He's the perfect one. He wants the spotlight. He's the perfect one to pick to do this job. Yeah. That black girl's in the hood been doing. But that's what happens all the time. The hood is always stole from. Everything we do is made profitable by people who pillage our community. Not by us. Flolo said, oh, she's that girl on TikTok who went viral for making game jackets for, yeah, her. Yes. Because see, this is the thing. I don't believe that those black players don't like black women, right? I think those black players are pulling a Harry Belafonte. And I always say that because remember Eartha Kitt, she talked about how she was in love with him. And he told her that he could not be with her. He had to marry a white woman because he could not take a black woman where he wanted to go in his career. He could only get there with a white woman. And he did just that. He did just that, right? So these black players know that the spaces that they want to get into, right? The things that they want to do, the way that they want to grow, not just within the NFL, but also within wealthy white communities who control almost everything, right? They can't do that with a black wife because at the end of the day, all that money that they would be making would be funneled into a black household. Why? Because the wife is the influence. The wife is the neck. The man may be the head, but the wife is the neck. And she is the influence. And she's going to be the influence of those children. And those children are going to take that influence and culture out there in the world and invest in those things or be a part of communities that their mother influenced them to be. But if the wife is white, they know that influence. They know what that household is going to be. So they feel safer doing business with this person. They feel safer putting this person in certain, thank you. They feel safer putting this person in leadership positions because they know who the influence is. They know who's that man's Eve, and they know where that money is going to go to their community. So it's not that they don't like or want to be with Black women, right? It's that they can't. They choose not to because they want a certain access. They want to sit at a certain table that was not built for them. But they can get as close to the table and get a bit of crumbs if they have a white partner. Non-Black people do it all the time. They do it all the time. But they're not attracted to white women in the form that they are in. So what do? They make them tan. They make them get all types of things done to their bodies, fuller lips, fuller breasts, a fuller behind, fuller hips. So now everybody looking at the pictures thinking this white woman is biracial because of everything that this Black man had her do so that he could be attracted to her. It's not that they don't want us. They can't take us to where they want to go, right? They're playing the game. You see a Black woman, right, with a Black man with all of this money. If you are a wealthy white person and you know that you got there because of white supremacy, you see this Black family, your initial thought is, oh, they coming to dismantle this table that has always worked for me. I can't have that, especially with that Black wife, because I know that kind of influence. And that influence started the civil rights movement, because I love the fact that Dr. King's daughter, when Jonathan Majors was talking about how that white woman was his Coretta or whatever, and how now Megan is his Coretta, she was just like, my mother was so much more than my father's wife. And what a lot of people don't know is that the civil rights movement would have never came to be had it not been for my mother. Every community knows that the women are the power, right? It's just that the men convince the women that they are not. But if you look at it, women are controlling the board all the way through. So it's very smart. So that's why those women look the way that they look. That's why these women who ain't never had box braids all of a sudden got braids. All of a sudden wearing door knockers. All of a sudden got these full lips. She looks ridiculous, but she has to be attractive to her Black husband. We live rent-free in everybody's mind. Oh, I had all of them. I had all of the jersey dresses. I had all of them. Child, the hood girl aesthetic will never die out. The hood Black girl aesthetic will never die out. Never die out. I still have my jersey dresses. Let me get rid of this fupa. I'm going to get back in them. Absolutely. 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 Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Now that they are in the spaces, they no longer need Black people. But what they have in reserve in case the money and the influence runs out, Black children. It's genius. It's genius. Genius. Teresa T said it's like how they say that the Bieber girl invented chocolate lips or whatever. She does the same thing. She does the same thing. If you look at Haley before she became popular, regular old white girl. Regular old white girl. Took a Black woman's aesthetic, boom. She's an it girl now. You mean brown lip liner and gloss, what all the hood girls did in the 80s and 90s, but they let a white woman do it? Listen, that's why I say, speak up. Keep on saying it. Make it uncomfortable. Make it uncomfortable. She was such a forerunner of fashion back in the day. Always Black labor. Oh, everybody did. Beyonce and me and girlfriend, me and my boyfriend and girlfriend. That remember that? Destiny Child been doing that. Yep. I'm telling you, those are not her designs. Those are not her designs. There's a Black woman on Tumblr right now, pissed the hell off. because probably posted those same designs like in the early 2000s or whatever Tumblr was around. But there's nothing she can do. She don't have the money to fight the NFL. NNH said, I'm only paying attention to the Super Bowl for Usher. Same. It's going to be annoying as hell seeing Taylor cheesing every 5 seconds. But listen, she's getting her check. She's showing up to work. It's PR. Anybody who's worked in PR can see it clear as day. Clear as day. They barely kiss. This is such a PR relationship. It's smart. It's smart. It's smart. Love by You said, hot take. Since Taylor wanted to wake up one day and act like she all of a sudden likes football, sis can at least eat down to fit. She be looking, well, that's intentional. Because, you know, her consumers don't dress, they dress like how she's dressing. She can't dress like Beyonce. No, her consumers shop at Ross. Her consumers shop at Catherine's. You know? I love how you said, I'm so glad you said that, Nikki. They tried to gaslight us into thinking he like what he like. He like what all of a sudden. Okay. It's a sister right now making a good coin being quiet. I'm moving on because I don't want those Swifties over here. Multi said, definitely PR. Isn't a lot of Taylor Swift relationships like that? No, the one guy that she really liked, she had to get rid of because he was an awful man. He was an awful man, and the Swifties hated him, but she really liked him. I think a few of her other relationships have been PR, but there was one guy that they hated, and she really liked him, and she hated having to let that guy go. Taylor makes a lot of them. Just wait till she breaks up and gets money up. Oh, the albums she's going to make off of him is going to eat. It's going to eat. But he's eating off of her. He's going to get all kinds of TV shows. This right here is such a smart PR relationship. The PR people are making, everybody in this is making good money. Good money. Yes, and that's what you need, because that's who the NFL lost. They did not care about losing black fans. They did not care. The majority of their fan base was, you know, white middle America, right? White conservatives who all of a sudden was just like, you know, starting to think a little different, questioning things about the NFL. And it was just like, when you lose that core, you're in danger. Look at the money they were making before this. It was not a lot. It was not a lot. And they're still recovering. That's why they're sitting certain players out, because they cannot afford to pay out their contracts. They are bleeding money, and Taylor's getting it back. Thank you, Laura. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's not safe for a lot of them to even say anything. It's not safe for a lot of them to even say anything. When you get to a certain height of popularity, the U.S. government got their claws on you. You think they was just watching Martin Luther King just because? He was getting a lot of traction, and they said, put your eyes on him because he could be a problem. So I feel like a lot of them can't say anything. Even if they wanted to, that might be the last statement they make. Listen, y'all don't know America. Y'all need to travel outside of America and find out who she really is. Ryan said, society is so easy. It's sad. I knew this team was going to the Super Bowl. Oh, we all knew. You think that the NFL was going to let them two black cities go to the... Are y'all crazy? Absolutely not. I knew they were going to pull that when I was watching the Philly game. All these plays was called. And I was like, I don't even watch football, and I knew something was up. I knew something was up. I'm sorry. Taylor ain't into a wigger, and Travis ain't into a white woman. It's not. We gotta call it, but there's so many PR relationships like that. Like it's couples that y'all go up for that is pure PR. It is the craziest thing. I'm like, oh, neither one of them want each other. Jazzy Go said, I'm curious, when did the tide shift for Taylor? Didn't people hate her for a minute when she had all that relationship drama? The tide shifted for her when Beyonce started doing well, because this is the thing. White America needs to have somebody that they can compare or be better than the best. And the best right now is a Black woman. Ain't nobody like Beyonce is this generation's Michael. Well, Michael Jackson is going to be Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? But she's on that level. Nobody can catch her. So they need to have somebody that can compete with her. No shade. Taylor can't compete with her in talent, right? So what Taylor has over her is her whiteness. So they push that so much because they need to compete with a Beyonce. They can't. Beyonce can't reign like that. Not that Black woman. Not that Black woman who has, for her last few albums, celebrated being Black, right? Now, if she was, no shade. Shout out to the suburban Black girls, no shade. But if she was pushing like a suburban Black girl aesthetic, probably wouldn't need a Taylor. But Beyonce, Houston, H-Town, and all that stuff, they said absolutely not. She needs a counterpart. They need balance. That's just checks and balances right there. The N and the H said they don't want to talk about safety, social justice, Black leadership, or ownership. Now let's talk about Taylor. Let me tell you something. The way the NFL and the NBA and the MLB push out so many Black millionaires, they can never come together and make an offer that they will ever take. Ever. Ever. Black Americans are one of the most intimidating communities to white supremacy. So freaking intimidating. Anytime we get some power, they throw something. They throw a little wrench. A little wrench in our progress. Right now, what's being thrown around is the desolation of our relationships. This war on relationships with Black men and Black women is only for chronically online people, but media is very powerful. And you will start thinking that there is a problem. It is a patriarchy problem in our community, but this is doing so much damage. Let me take off my tinfoil hat. Jasmine91 said, and now the NFL players are not being compensated for injuries impacted by CTE because the NFL has their own definition of CTE. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's Latasha said, great take, Nikki. This totally makes sense. Thank you so much. Jay-Z, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, all of that. Jay-Z was the first one they brought in because he has a huge influence. He is a Black man with a huge influence. They brought him in. Jay-Z got cussed out within seconds. They found out quickly that he was touchable. And they said, well, and Jay-Z said, now listen, I'm not going to lose everything I worked for over you. So y'all better find a way to fix this. And they fixing it, and it's working. If she's smart, she better keep her mouth shut until them kids is 18. Love by You said, I was wondering how that was going to work. One thing about those football wives, they know their roles, be pretty, trophy, and supportive. I don't know. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. You have two people competing for the spotlight. It's not going to work. Let me get two more that I want to get into. Oh, what we talking up in here? I'm just going to move on and then come back so we can get through all the subjects. Let's move on to our girl, Megan. So Megan Thee Stallion has had a rough 2 weeks. Well, she's had a great 2 weeks. Well, since she released his, the rap icon of the moment, Nicki Minaj, has not been happy with that. And because of she's not happy, her Barbz have not, who is her fan base, have not been happy as well. And they've been attacking every aspect of her life, from her supporters to now her mother's grave. This is from the Houston Chronicle. Got too many damn ads. Anyway, this is from the Houston Chronicle. What? I'm sorry, Houston Chronicle. Y'all got too many ads. I gotta go to Black Enterprise. I can't stand them, but I'll make it work. So now they have gone as far to threaten to desecrate the gravesite of Megan's mother. This is from Black Enterprise. Gravesite for Megan Thee Stallion's mom under tight security after threat from Nicki Minaj's fans. The cemetery where Megan Thee Stallion's mom is buried has ramped up security following alleged threats made by fans of Nicki Minaj, known as the Barbz, to desecrate her grave. Holly Thomas, Megan's mom, and also a former rapper in her own right, was laid to rest in Texas after dying from brain cancer in 2019. According to TMZ, the heightened safety measures came after a rap beef ensued between Minaj and Megan after the Houston hottie dropped her controversial new single, His. Minaj took offense to a lyric regarding Megan's Law, which was created to ensure the public was aware of sex offenders living in the area due to her husband, Kenneth Petty, being a registered sex offender due to an attempted rape conviction in 1995. The escalating issue, at least from Minaj's camp, led the Queen's native to release her own diss track entitled Bigfoot, alluding to Megan's foot injury about being shot by Tory Rumpelstiltskin in 2020. As the battle extended to both their fandoms, the Barbz allegedly doxed Megan's mother's burial location, telling their extremely loyal cohorts to desecrate the gravesite to avenge Minaj. Thomas, Megan's mother, was a Houston-based rapper whose stage name was Hollywood. The matriarch was an inspiration for Megan to begin a rap career, and her untimely passing due to her severe illness took a toll on the Grammy winner, who shared her struggles of hitting rock bottom. The current attention on Megan's mother comes from Minaj, who has continually brought up her passing in recent days, even going on Twitter in a deleted post from the 28-year-old MC to conjure up her deceased loved one. The mother of one also accused Megan of lying on her dead mama multiple times, even including the phrase in her response in song. So that's where we are. Her mother's gravesite now has to have security because these adults are threatening to desecrate her mother's gravesite. They have also doxed people on the on Twitter and on TikTok, on any social media platform, and on YouTube, who disagree with the things that Nicki Minaj has said or the diss track. And I wanted to bring that up because it has gotten to the point now where not only are the Barbz doing completely unhinged things, they are now facing the consequences, because recently a popular TikToker was doxxed by a Nicki Minaj fan, and he fought back. Here is how.
So interestingly enough, today's the birthday of the person who doxed and leaked my private and personal information onto the internet this past weekend in response to my criticisms of Nicki Minaj. Now, what's actually a little bit funny is you happened to dox me the night of my younger brother's birthday. You leaked my phone number, a former address me and my family used to reside in. Now, I'm sure many of y'all are wondering, oh my God, Eric, why didn't you bring attention to this when it first happened? Well, one, I didn't see it fit to boost or amplify content containing my personal information, one of which was approximate locations to the current city and state that I live in. And number two, after doing a bit of scrolling and clicking around, I found every bit and piece of information I needed to find on you, one of which was your birthday. So I waited. Now, here's the thing. I've never sought legal recourse through the U.S. justice system, but I've also never been doxxed to this degree. And I want to be clear. I can only speak for me. The people I can't speak for is my family, my extended family, the people who felt slighted by your decision to not only endanger my life, but the lives of my younger brothers and my mother. So you have one of two options. One, you will not only issue me a direct and sincere apology, but you will do so on the very same platform you use to dox and disseminate my private and personal information, because what was done in public will be apologized for in public. Number 2, you will delete that stand page. You will delete your account. It must be done away with, my love. And 3, you will take down the post containing my personal and private information. It's still up, and that's nuts. Macadamia. Now, should you choose not to follow the demands of number 1, option number 2 is 1, a report with the Cybercrime Division of the FBI will be filed. 2, legal representation will be involved so as to seek compensatory damages for the trauma you sought to inflict on me and my family. 3, a phone call and several emails will be issued to the technical college at which you major in nursing for to let them know that somebody who potentially will be seeking a career in nursing and be medically responsible for the lives of people saw it fit to endanger the lives of regular civilians over celebrity drama. And number 4, you also run the risk of your face and the account in which you used to dox me being plastered across the entire internet. Now, had this been an attack solely directed at me and me only, I would have let it fly. God honest truth, Scout's honor. Plus, you're only 20. But because you got my family involved, with that being said, I'm looking forward to your apology, Amaria. Happy birthday. Congratulations to you for getting into nursing school, and say hi to Grandma Ida for me. Kisses.
So the Barb that he was talking to went back on Twitter and, was just like, this is ridiculous. I'm not risking everything that I work for this. But they did not meet this person's demands. So he eventually had to send everything to her school and his lawyers. She later came on Twitter and was crying in spaces about how he went too far, but she eventually did delete her account after he sent those documents to her school. And this is just to show that actions have consequences. You adults, because this was an adult woman, you adults are going around the internet really playing with your future, doxing someone, putting their information out there on the internet for everybody to see, and then documenting you telling people to go and harass that person. I mean, if she doesn't have any other charges, she might just get probation, but she absolutely will meet her local DA. And that, unfortunately, is what people are going to have to start to do. So these fan bases make sure they stay in line, that they stay a fan and they don't start committing crimes and end up being a stan. Unfortunately, it had to be her. She had to be an example, and there will probably be other examples made, because there are a lot of people that they doxed as well who are now working with the White House cybersecurity team. So they put themselves in this position, but I feel like this moment right here is going to change how fan bases now interact online. And that's a good thing. It's unfortunate that it had to be that young lady and the other people that it will soon impact. But play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Anyway, Meg is still winning, because just today, before I hopped on here, Megan Thee Stallion and Warner Music Group signed a new agreement. Business Insiders report. The agreement will enable Megan to maintain her independence as an artist while having access to WMG's global services, ranging from radio promotions to marketing worldwide. She will maintain full creative control of her music, plus have full ownership of her masters and publishing. So, Nikki, you cannot buy those, because she now owns them. Rock Nation is a powerhouse. Woo! Jay-Z can put on a halftime show and manage musical artists in the industry. My God, today, somebody like Megan is, still fairly new in the industry, and to have a kind of deal like that, that's a powerful management company. That was a huge power move. That's all I have to say. What do you guys have to say? Let's get into it. We're going to do 10 minutes or so. I think I want to do 5 because I want to get the other. I want to talk about Britney and BYRON, and then we're just going to finish out the night with the rest of the other comments. So let me get my timer. Let's go. Yeah, that was the one. They did not like him, and I think she really liked him. I think people were just like, "Yo, girl, you got to let that go," and it was not happening. It was not happening. You're right on time. You're right on time. Shonda said, "Please like the video and subscribe to get NikkiStar to TV to 16K." Thank you so much. Oh, absolutely. Love how you say yes. Women are the economic commerce of this nation. We're the buyers for the household. Buyers for the household. Cater to us and you'll have a successful world. The problem is they parent to white women who can't or won't ever have an influence on the culture. Very true, but it's never going to change. They're not going to put power in an oppressed community. Because what is an oppressed community going to do? Get themselves out of oppression and change the system. You cannot change this. They do not want a system change that benefits them. Isn't American culture just black culture that's been watered down? Everyone wants black culture. Absolutely. Absolutely. Even my mama. And she don't never stray from the birds. The rich are so calculated, you'll never catch them. By the time you catch their game, they're long gone. Long gone. Fareed said, child, even a Bayhive wasn't that crazy. We were just doing bee emojis in people's comments. Yes, and only when they said awful things about Beyonce. It was like a warranted, like, let me get you together. It's people like Kid Rock saying things about Beyonce just because she's black. And he's bitter because the black woman that he wanted didn't want him. She had a baby by a black man while she was with him. So now we have to suffer. Now we have to suffer because that sister didn't want him. I'm telling you, it's always a woman. It's always a woman that rejected a man. And then he just goes nuts and terrorizes everybody else. The power we have. Miss Brown said also, do these folks have no fear? Not of the justice system, but of the spirit world? Ain't no way. Nope. Because I was going to say Taina. Tana Bombshell said, I mean, who do we expect from a base who idolizes a essay apologist? Listen, he don't play. He don't play. Miss Brown Sugar said, also, do these folks, I got that one. Yeah, I love that. Macadamia. Alex said, forgive my ignorance, but I had no clue what docs meant. Oh, I'm sorry to the whole thing. What a crazy world we're living in. Everyone, please stay safe. Yep. It's crazy. And they've done it to a few people. And those people that they have done it to have all reached out to not only the authorities, but also their lawyers. This is going to get ugly, but it's going to have to get like this so that they can set a precedence that this is not okay. Because it just has to happen to a loud few and the point will be made. People will stay in their lanes and remain fans and not stands. Brown Girl 44 said, let's discuss how they have somehow found a way to blame this all on Megan. Joe Button says she thinks this gravesite thing is a sympathy play by Megan. Joe and Nikki are horrible people. Well, here's the thing. He should have stayed out of this conversation because they pulled his teeth real quick. Real quick. Stay out of this. Stay out of this. Yep, she messed up her whole life. Ryan said, now that girl won't be able to become a nurse because she was trying to defend someone that wouldn't even lend her food, let alone look in her direction. And Nikki will be fine. She will not be. In nursing school. A mess. Thank you, Miss Brown Sugar. Oh, gone. It's gone. Her whole future over somebody she does not know. What a hard lesson to learn. What a hard lesson to learn. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's move on to our girl, Britney. Let's move on to our girl, Britney. Where's she at? Hey, sis. So, recently, Britney Spears has been getting folks together on her Instagram. So, Britney Spears seemingly claps back at Justin Timberlake, says she's not sorry. This is from People magazine in a post after his comment. So the apology take back comes after a concert goer confirmed to People that Timberlake, 43, told the crowd at his Wednesday concert in New York City that I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely effing nobody before singing Cry Me a River. Spears, 42, appeared to respond on Instagram. She said, oh crap, I got to take that off. I'll just read it to you from here. She said, someone told me someone was talking ish about me on the streets. Do you want me to bring it to the court, or will you go home crying to your mom like you did the last time? I'm not sorry. So listen, Britney, don't nobody know what this means. Let me remove my banner. Don't nobody know what this means, but I'm glad she clapped back and said something. I'm glad my girl clapped back and said something, because here is why. I don't know why she apologized to him in the first place. I don't know why she apologized to him in the first place. It made absolutely no sense to me, but I guess because he has just been getting bad PR since her book dropped. And there was an article written, I believe, by Rolling Stone, and it just ethered his latest single, I believe, and just said that the music that he is putting out is just not working. It's not working anymore, and he's trying this rebrand. I think he's now moving from Man of the Woods, you know what I mean? But basically, when he went back to being Caucasian, and I think he's trying to come over back to the Black side by way of gospel, because he was recently on SNL performing with that weird rapper guy who doesn't like his wife but keeps on getting her pregnant. He was doing a segment with him, and people were hyping him up, saying that he's back or whatever. And I guess he got a little wind beneath his wings, and probably thought the coast was clear, and decided to make that statement at his last concert. This is the thing. A lot of people in the spotlight are awful people, right? Because the smart thing to say or to do after Britney Spears dropped her book and all of these things came out about how he treated her, the smart thing to say was that I was young and misguided. I was not making the right decisions. My team was making decisions for me. And in those decisions, I hurt someone that I loved as a very young man, as a child even, who I loved since a child. What I did was not okay. And I would never want my children to treat someone like that, or for somebody to treat them like that. And to Britney, I sincerely apologize deeply from the bottom of my heart. And I hope that you can heal from the things that I've done to you, but do it in the time that you need. Whenever you're ready to forgive me, or if you never forgive me, I completely understand. I am so sorry. That would have been the easiest thing for him to do. But instead, he stays silent. And the only time he speaks on this is to say he don't have to apologize to any effing body. So now the sympathy that he was receiving is taking away, because now it seems like that was an attack at Britney, because right before you say that statement, you sing Cry Me a River. And then people go back to her book and how you treated her, and how the mistreatment that she has received since she was a young person has created this woman that we now see, who was not the Britney that we all know and love, right? A shell of herself even. Wasn't a smart move, but it was very smart for her to come out and then say her piece, because she did say that she felt bad for him. But then right after that, whatever sympathy he was getting, he took away. And she decided to clap back in her very own way. I'm glad she did. I'm glad she did. I don't feel like she should be in the position. I don't feel like she needs to be apologizing to anybody. Everybody in her life harmed her and took advantage of her. Everybody owes her an apology. She owes no one an apology. That's all I wanted to say. What do you guys have to say? Let's get into it. Hold on. He constantly tells us he does not like his wife. And she constantly tries to convince us that he does. And I'm like, honey, we're just going off of the things that he said about you with his whole chest. But he keeps you pregnant so you can stay out of the spotlight, because at the end of the day, you're the star. You're the star. But it'll keep you barefoot and pregnant, and take every opportunity that is coming to you. A lot of women are married to and lying down and in relationships with their biggest hater. Their biggest hater. It's a sad world we live in. That's what happened to Britney. All the men wanted her spotlight, and they got it at the expense of her mind. Yeah, you're right about that. Because if any harm comes from that, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. She never does. She's spoken to the Hive a few times. I am so freaking greasy. So I changed. Like, I've always been a greasy girl. And my esthetician was just like, you want that. You want to remain a greasy girl. But since I changed my diet, my gosh. Ooh, I am greasy. Right? I was just like, what do you want to do? And did you beat him up at the basketball court that last time? What are we talking about? Why did Justin go crying to his mom? What did you do? Oh, Britney. And why they are in relationships with cops and drug dealers. What the hell is that? What in the hell is that? That's crazy. She sure did. And she said, meet me outside. Through and through. She don't play. She gets down. Just John said, funny how the Barbz conveniently ignore that Mr. Nikki's husband is not just a registered sex offender, but a whole convicted murderer. Dude is just problematic. Everybody's supposed to ignore it. But see, here's the thing. I think a lot of people are overlooking the fact that the Barbz protect Nikki and the terrible things that she does, because they are that way. They are that way. Have you ever seen like a Barbz timeline? Like at any of their social medias? It's just ravenous. Ravenous. I remember I saw a clip of a conversation. It was like a conversation of Barbz. And it was so dark and demonic. Like the stuff that these young men were saying, it was ridiculous. It was like so scary. And the way they were lashing out to each other. And I'm like, aren't you guys all Barbz? It was crazy. But those people who accept the behavior only accept it because it's their behavior as well. They go up for the same things that she says, not because they like her music. They like her actions and the things that she is saying when she's upset. Like those, they gas her up for all of that because they would do that in real life. That's how they are. So the Barbz and Nikki are a reflection of each other. Was it subliminal? Ryan says, as she should, because she doesn't need to give anyone an apology. If anything, everyone should. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. The N and the H said, Justin can go sit down somewhere. He can keep that new album. We don't want it. That was the worst thing that he could have done. He was just getting a lot of traction and sympathy. And then he turns everything around, but because that's how he really felt. This is why people have teams. This is why people have PR, because a lot of these people who are put up in celebrity status are awful, are not nice people. And they need a team of people to make them palatable to the audience. Because without them, they would not have it. They would not have the success that they have. People would not be able to overlook their attitude for the content that they put out. I'm going to answer this, take this last question, then we'll end with Byron. Fareed said, and when her fans stream her old songs to outchart his new songs. Yep, they sure did. They sure did. Oh, and with Just Jonathan. Just Jonathan said, I'm sorry. I'm not on a whole Justin hater bandwagon. Two immature former child stars in their early 20s were in a pregnancy situation. He was honest about how he felt. Where's the problem? Oh, I absolutely get that. I absolutely get that. My thing is, you don't say anything, and then this is what you say. So even if he felt a different way, with him not saying anything and then saying, I don't have to apologize for any effing thing, and then sings Cry Me a River, that means that the things that he did when he was younger, he does not regret. He actually agrees with those actions that harm someone. And that might not be the case, but that is what it appears to be by the statement that he made. Let's get into, we're going to end with Byron Allen, and then we're just going to, I'm just going to go back and forth in the chat and just pick out comments to talk about before we get out of here. Byron Allen is back at it again. Back at it again. This article is from CNBC. Byron Allen offering $14 billion to Paramount has a long history of media bids that have never materialized. I wonder why. Byron Allen, the media mogul, offering $14 billion for Paramount. Paramount keeps on coming up for auction. Can I tell you something? There's going to be a lot of mergers coming up. A lot of mergers coming up because the media reports that the streaming services or whatever are making so much money. They're not. They are not making a lot of money, but they're buying up a lot of content because a lot of them are going to merge soon and very soon. I feel like by the time they all stop merging, we're probably going to have only like 3 studios left, if that, 3 or 2 studios left, because the money isn't there, because what the wealthy never understand, they never get it. And I think they're just too rich to understand how the rest of the world lives. If the working class and the middle class cannot consume or buy what you are selling them, you don't make money either. And that's what's happening. The poor and working class is being priced out of everything. And now everybody is just in survival mode. So those people who make like necessities are going to always survive, like toilet paper companies, detergent companies, toothbrushes, like the necessities, they will be fine because people will always have a need for that. If there is a need, they will buy it. Everything else, when you run out of money, everything else is a luxury, right? Buying movies, buying up all these streaming services, those are luxuries. Buying that fancy coffee, going out to this dinner, traveling here and there, those are luxuries. Right now, you're just focusing on your necessities. The roof over your head, the lights being on in your home, a toothbrush, toilet paper, washcloths for certain communities, right? Those are the necessities, and those companies are always going to make money. The companies that are luxuries are not making money because the poor and working class ain't making money, and we can't buy what they are selling because that's considered a luxury. So what they're all doing now is buying up content and merging so that they can have a hold over everything that's being put out, right? They can't compete with each other anymore because the poor and working class are looking at them as luxuries now. So they're better off working together and being one whole unit than competing with each other for money that's not quite there. So there's going to be a lot of mergers later. In about the next 3 or so years, we're going to have a bunch of mergers that people are going to be like, they're merging, they don't have it. Baby, they don't. Baby, they don't. A crash is coming. But Byron Allen, the media mogul, offering $14 billion for Paramount Global, told CNBC on Wednesday that he has the money to finance a deal, despite skepticism about his deal making. We have more than enough capital available to us. The real challenge is the certainty of a close, Allen said. This deal lives or dies at the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC. Allen, the founder and CEO of a media group that owns dozens of television networks across the U.S., offered $30 billion for all of Paramount's outstanding shares, including debt and equity. The Allen Media Group said in a statement, the offer is the best solution for all the Paramount Global shareholders, and the bid should be taken seriously and pursued. Allen has a long history of making offers on major media sites, but bidding doesn't mean buying. His recent media buyout offers have failed to materialize into sales. Wall Street Journal reported Wednesday that Allen last year offered $18.5 billion for Paramount and was rejected. Allen told CNBC that he received a response from Paramount to his most recent offer. Sherry Redstone, who controls Paramount through her company, National Amusements, has been open to deal making in recent months in an effort to either merge or sell the company that's home to brands such as CBS, Showtime, and Nickelodeon in its namesake movie studio. CNBC reported last week that David Ellison Skydance Media and its backers were exploring the deal to take Paramount Pictures or the entire media company private. In December, CNBC also reported Paramount had entered preliminary talks with Warner Brothers. They're all going to merge two media giants into a deal that could have faced regulatory hurdles. Allen's bid for Paramount is the most ambitious of the deals the media mogul has tried to complete. Here are some of his recent deal attempts. In December, Allen renewed an attempt to buy Paramount-owned Black Entertainment Television, or VH1, for a combined $3.5 billion. In November, Bloomberg reported he was weighing a bid to buy television stations from EW Scripps. In September, Allen made an offer to buy ABC. Can you imagine? And several other networks from Disney for $10 billion after Disney CEO Bob Iger opened the door to selling the company's linear TV assets. In 2022, he explored the bid to buy the National Football League's Washington Commanders. In March 2022, he offered $8.5 billion to buy television stations owner Tegna. Allen told CNBC via phone Wednesday that he lost out on several deals because ownerships changed course on wanting to sell. He highlighted his acquisition of the Weather Channel in 2018 for a reported $300 million and broadly defended his track record, invoking Baseball Hall of Fame Babe Ruth. Let's talk about Babe Ruth. Does he go down as one of the greatest baseball players of all time? And he struck out halftime, Allen said. In actuality, Ruth struck out 1,300 times and 8,390 times at bat, 399 at bat, and 50% as strikeouts. Allen's bid for linear TV assets comes as the media landscape shifts away from traditional TV towards streaming. Almost all the major media companies have launched services to compete with streaming giant Netflix. They are never going to give a black man all that power. Byron keeps on trying. Byron keeps on trying. It's never going to happen, poor guy. It's never, even with his white wife, that is far too much power. It's not going to happen. But he keeps on trying. And it's the funniest thing because every time these companies open up to selling and start auctioning off things, Byron Allen comes with the biggest bid. And all of a sudden, they're no longer selling. All of a sudden, they're no longer selling. They will never give a Black man that much control in media. Even though Byron Allen doesn't give off that he's going to be putting up positive Black content. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't give off that he's like a part of the community that way, but he's still Black. That's what I was talking about last year, I believe, in my bonnet video, where I was like, it doesn't matter what you do, how you dress, how you speak, the partner you have, how much money you make. You will always be Black. You are never going to be able to sit at a table that was created to oppress you, because they do not trust you, because they think if they even give you a seat, you will dismantle the system. It's never going to happen, Byron. I love that you keep on trying, because we can start to see what, we're going to have to fight for, right? So I love that you keep on trying, but my God, today, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Poor guy. He keeps on trying though. He keeps on, and he comes with the money. You're never going to sit at that table, because media is powerful. There are subscribers that I have across the globe who come here and a lot of times are shocked that this is how a Black American thinks, not knowing the majority of us, like, my viewpoints are not odd, right? But because of the media that you consume from this nation about my people, you think something totally different. Media is powerful. It's so powerful. It's a sad example, but it's very true. When the Bronx Tale came out, every Black girl had an Italian boyfriend. No, that was never on anybody's mind, right? But when the Bronx Tale came out, all the Italian boys wanted the great one. Every Black girl wanted a cologne to tell, because of media. Robert De Niro planted that seed, and all the Black and Italian kids said, "Let's go!" Right? That's how powerful media is. It changes the narrative. It inspires. Right? Birth of a Nation. Black people are still being discriminated against because of a poorly crafted film that depicted Black men as beasts, sexual deviants, and Black women as idiotic mammies. And that still holds true today from that one film. Changed the trajectory of our lives. Black people, former enslaved Black people, use their farming skills that they learned forcibly working on plantations and started to become very successful farmers. One of the fruits that they were farming successfully was watermelons. And there were successful Black-owned watermelon farms across the nation. And Black people were starting to get capital. And with that capital comes political power. And laws were starting to change. But what happened? Some evil white guy got an idea to create a caricature of Black people, right? And create this ape-looking kind of character, dark skin with big red lips, and had this caricature that's supposed to be Black people eating watermelon. And they posted it wherever they saw a successful watermelon farm. And what did that do? Take the steam away from those Black farmers and those watermelon farms. And then it's rare today for you to find a Black-owned watermelon farm. And that's our fruit. That's what we were able to bring here to this nation. We're not even farming it because of that one caricature. Media is powerful. It's very, very powerful. And Byron knows that. And the owners who own these media corporations that he wants to buy know that too. They said you can play with the weather, but you're not going to play with the images that we put of your people on TV. Oh, that's not happening. That's not happening at all. Poor guy. He tries. Keep on fighting, brother. Keep on fighting. Plump Fiction Thank you so much for the super chat. Plug Fiction said, love you, Nikki. Thank you. Everyone liked the video. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me get into some older comments, and then we're going to chat for a minute, and then I'm going to let y'all go and enjoy y'all Friday. Thank you all so much for being here. We got 175 in the room on a Friday night. I know that's right. I know that's right. All right, I'm kind of caught up. Love by You, let's talk about Travis. Said, Nikki, I wish I could send you an interview that his ex, Kayla Nicole, did. She talked about how she was very vocal about her and Travis supporting Black causes. I don't think the NFL liked that much. No. Remember when he was kneeling? Child, absolutely. Absolutely. She's still very vocal about that, but, you know, he can't take her to where he wants to go. And that happens all the time. That happens all the time. Now, if she's comfortable being a secret, maybe. But she's not comfortable. Right? She can't go with him. She can't go with him. And Black women, I would not look at that as a bad thing. Right? Because we talk about it all the time. Black women, why people call us the oracle and all of that stuff, because Black women, like children, are the most unprotected, one of the, next to children, unprotected groups of humans on this earth. So with us, nobody has to put on a mask, right? Because there's no privilege that you're going to get from us. There's no privilege, right? So you don't have to put on a mask for me and act a certain way, because there's nothing that you can get from me. So you show me who you really are. It's not that Black women have this great intuition. It's not that, we're these oracles or whatever. It's just that you don't put on a mask with me because you don't think that I have any privilege. So I see you for who you are. So what that says is that this woman sees the game. She sees the landscape clear as day. It's not because she's all seeing and all knowing and have all of this wisdom. It's because you don't put on a mask or a front for her. So she's able to see who you really are to your core. Same thing with children. If your child don't want to hug somebody, do not force your child to hug that person, because that kid is able to see what you cannot. What you cannot, because you, the adult, they will put on a mask for you, but that child, they will not, because they know that nobody believes children. If your child feels airy around anybody, get your child out of that environment. Your baby can see stuff that you cannot see. It's the same thing with Black women, right? So if you are trying to take advantage of a person or a community, the first thing that you do is get rid of the women that can see everything. Break that relationship up immediately. Absolutely not, because you're not going to be able to get out of that man what you need to get out if he got her sitting right there seeing everything from jump. You're not going to be able to take advantage of that dude. So you got to get her out of the equation, which is why when he loses everything, who does he go back to? The one that saw it all from jump. Don't be available. Problems never end said, oh yes, Taylor Swift dated Matt Healy. Oh yeah, we got that one. Some people said that's more her speed, and Kayla's more Travis's speed. But this relationship is money. So many people go with the money. So many entertainers hide their sexual identity. You can make more money straight than you can as a gay man. You can make more money as a straight man than you can as a gay man. Especially if you're singing love songs. Who consumes that content? Women. So you have to put on the front for them. And you have to have a partner that's okay with being in the closet with you. And that's very hard to find. Same thing with politicians. Majority of them conservatives are gay men. Majority. It's one right now that everybody talk about. Nobody is convinced. He trying to convince himself, but nobody is convinced. but he has to go very hard against his own community to convince the people that he's pandering to that he is not of the community that he is currently oppressing. And the gay community is so kind, they continue to hold his secrets, although he's killing their community. Some people said, I just finished Hood Feminism, Notes from the Women That a Movement Forgot. Oh, by Mickey Kendall. I love her. It speaks all about this. I love her. Miss Brown Sugar said, the way Dude Bros could not accept that Taylor is a billionaire and Travis is a peon in comparison, talking about she's with him because of his coins, literal coins in comparison. I'm telling you, she's getting twice his NFL check. For this? How she's saving the NFL? Her whoever brokered that deal, sitting nice. Laura said, which black man? There, oh child, so many. George Floyd, thank you. George Floyd. Well, a reason why a lot of them complain about her being at the games is because for the men, this is their thing. And now the game is focusing on women. And that's not what they want. But the NFL needs to focus on the influence of the communities that they were losing. So they have to make this about women, and the men hate it because this is their thing. And now it's all about the women. But the NFL said, we got to get our money back. Yeah, because listen, everything that's happening right now, well, majority of things that are happening right now is because America had a black president for 8 years that everybody loved, right? But it's also a result of 2020. 2020 was a huge shift in the globe, right? And it started with the Black Lives Matter movement that gave a lot of other communities who saw some traction power. And we're just like, okay, well, let's speak about this. Let's speak about that. That was, in a sense, a new civil rights movement, right? And because of that, a lot of people who would not have necessarily agreed before 2020 were starting to agree. And a lot of those people were a part of the white majority. They had to get them people back. This is the best way to do it. It's genius. I'm not knocking it. I'm just calling it for what it is. Thank you for being here, Donna. They all were. They all were. They all were. Because they have to have a white competitor for Beyonce. She cannot run in that lane on her own. It cannot happen. Love by You said, girl, not anymore. Travis went from cosplaying a light-skinned Negro to looking like Bear Grylls. I haven't seen him do any TV since dating her. Listen, go where the money is. Oh yeah, I saw that. He was the only person there with a black girlfriend. Now he's playing the game. He's playing it well. Oh, baby. DGF said, what unalives me is that the generational wealth of that family rotates away from black families in the black community. Exhibit A, the Jackson clan. Listen, I have always talked about how white people are not white people. I don't want to put that on white people in general, but the white elite played a long game. What they're doing right now to the NFL and the NBA, genius. Because right now, what's happening is those kids of those families, right, are now getting into the NBA and NFL. They have their father's athleticism and they have their mother's influence. Genius. They don't ever have to worry about another social justice uprising ever again. Genius. Like, you say what you want about the white elite. They play this game well. Very well. All of it is. All of it is. And Black people are still building systems of power that we will never benefit from. And they're going to do it. And they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Oh, I love it. Yes, bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair. At least 2 pair. Yes. And now they're talking about Travis Kelce creating the fade. Yes. They bring the white ones to the games. And then they go and lay in the beds of the Black ones. No, she doesn't. This is not PR for her. This is PR for the NFL. She's just making a good coin. She's a businesswoman, and I respect it. Thank you, Shonda. Shonda said, thanks everyone for joining Nikki.Star Live. Please like and subscribe for more great content. Yep. Because Solange is just like, I don't have to be flawless. I'm flawed. And that works for her. She can live a freer life because she's flawed. Thank you, Shonda. Shonda said, please subscribe to Nikki's second channel, Nikki.Star at Home. So Seth said, I wish people could understand that. Oh, yeah, we got that. Love by You said, as a barber of almost 10 years, Nikki disappoints me. She goes on these bully rants that is immature and takes away from her legacy. Girl, why you fighting at your big age? Well, it's she is a woman who has been extremely successful in a patriarchal society, right? In the patriarchal industry as well. And when you are successful under patriarchy as a woman, everything is about your body and your youth. And when you start to get older as a woman, it starts to play on your mind because the men of the patriarchy start to make you feel less than. And then they start to look at something younger, not because they think that's better, but because the younger are easier to manipulate. And a lot of women don't get that. They just get jealous of that younger woman and they start to rage out. And it also doesn't help if you have an unhealthy community and you have a substance abuse issue. It's a toxel, it's a cocktail of chaos, unfortunately. Oh, she's absolutely going to do that. Absolutely going to do that. Her issue is, like a lot of working class women, she's attracted to working class men. But the best bet for her is to marry somebody like a Rockefeller. The best bet for her. But the working class boys that get you every time. Every time. Yes. I love that TikTok because she was very accurate. Very accurate. Oh my goodness. I told y'all about my apartment. They put these like huge trees on my balcony. Not for me. And they have created like these bugs. Every time I open the door, they come in. I hate it. I hate it. She's winning. She's winning. Good for her. She probably under Rock Nation, she absolutely will. She's absolutely in line to do the Super Bowl. Absolutely. As soon as she start making some pop hits that don't need to be too censored, she's doing it. She's doing it. BB Girl said Pierce Morgan hates Meg, the Black Princess, because she ditched him. LOL. He still writes nasty news about her. Absolutely, because you know she upgraded. Like you know what I mean? She climbed that ladder too. She got on the right ladder. She was on that one, and she saw this one. She said peace, and he's mad about it. He's mad about it. You can't compete with a prince. He's mad about it. He is mad about it. She did, right? But then he made that comment that Crimea, that comment in Crimea River. You woke her back up. She was chilling. She hadn't even been posting dance videos. The girl was chilling. Love by You said, not to play a devil's advocate. I'm gonna hold you right there. You should never want to advocate for the devil. But Justin Timberlake has publicly apologized before in the past. Wasn't that for 20 years ago? To be honest, it's only one side to every story. Well, you know what? I did not know that there was an apology. And if there was, I agree. Even still, I don't think he should have been getting the hate that he's getting. Like, they were kids, literal children, unsupervised, both have, show parents. So, Hollywood kids are very grown because they have their parents who don't chastise them, don't allow them to be regular kids because they're making money for them. And then you have adults who cater to them. I knew somebody who worked with a certain starlet, Disney starlet at the time, and the way she was a lapdog for that child, and she was so proud of it, was so embarrassing. She was so happy to have any proximity to success, even though it was by way of a child that treated her like a slave, an enslaved human being. But she loved it. That child talked to her any kind of way. She's a grown adult getting drugs for this kid. I don't blame any of them. I blame their parents. My comment is on the fact that he made that comment and then sung Crimea River after he was getting so much bad press. PR Nikki thinks that's a dumb thing to do. I would never recommend my client to do something so stupid. Dumb thing to do. And CM villainized her, right? Crimea River, the Britney Spears doppelganger. Everybody call her all kinds of names. It's a hard time for that young woman at the time. Everybody took his side. She was the villain. Downhill ever since then. That's my beef with him. He better get it together. Backstreet 2. Let's get it together. Yeah, she is. Oh, we're over 2 hours. So let me get a few more and then I'm gonna let y'all go. Jazzy Go said, "Oh, Nikki, please talk about the food truck lady that Keith Lee gave the money to. I would love to know your thoughts." She blew her business. She literally tanked her own business. Nobody else did that. That was her. She blocked the $5 million she was probably going to get with that man's influence over 5,000. So she took the 5,000 and blocked the 5 million. Foolish. Not everybody is a business owner. Not everybody should be the face of a business. Some people should just collect the check and let other people run it. She blew her business. Regardless of what the situation was, Keith on camera told you what to do with that money and you didn't do it. You blew your business. Unfortunate. It's Natasha said, "I didn't know you were talking about, so I had to look up." Child. And the fact that he's terrible to his black wife works for him. Opens up doors for him. Social Seth said Nikki is male identified and male centered, so she will never go up or support other women fully. Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of women like that. Like if a guy has a rape allegation, the girl's like, well, he's nice to me. Girl, what? You didn't have to say anything at all. I feel safe around him. I'll leave my daughters around him. Yikes. Just John said nobody has to keep apologizing for the rest of their life for breaking up with someone in their 20s. I agree. Breakup sucks. They are often imperfect. Next, anything that you did before your brain was fully developed, we should let it slide, unless it's murder. We've all been there. Ours just aren't public. I agree. It was just a bad move. He's probably caught up in a moment. It wasn't smart. I just say that because I want to talk about it. We're going to talk about that another. We're going to have a conversation about that. It's never going to happen. Poor guy. He got a white wife, white center kids. It's just no. They're never going to let that happen, and it's smart. This is the thing, right? Everybody focuses on how evil white supremacy is. We get it. Counter the game plan. It's a genius game plan. Nobody's countering the game plan. Everybody's lamenting and crying, oh, this is not nice. It's so unfair. It's evil. Let's get in the situation room. Let's come up with a plan because they playing the damn game and they have no competitors. Nobody else is playing the game. It's crazy to me. People of color, come on. It's crazy to me. I got no beef with them. No beef. They have no competition. No competition. I got the beef with the people who ain't standing up. DGF said, I can't believe they want to manufacture everything cheaply in China, yet China is always getting busted for cyber spying. Make it make sense. Listen, all this stuff that America tried to, conservative politicians try to say, the stuff that they say about China and Chinese people, they're just saying that to appease their racist voters. America ain't never gonna knuckle up to China. One, we won't win. Two, we owe them people too much money. What? It's never happening. Not with the debt we got. And who the hell is going after that army? Not the Americans. Stop it. I'm like, oh, that is all pomp and circumstance for them racist voters. They ain't never knuckling up to them. And China knows it. That's why they talk what they talk. We are absolutely going to talk about Monique's interview with Shannon Sharp because I know it's going to be something. Fareed said, I'm going to need Monique to host the BET Awards again. This was the appointment for Black celebrities and musicians. It has been a flop for years now. It absolutely has. And then H said, all the streamers are combining and adding commercials, basically becoming cable after they killed it. Absolutely. I feel like the only one left standing is going to be Netflix because everybody's modeling after them. And Netflix is always going to be ahead of the game. Netflix and Peacock are the only ones I see staying around. The only ones. I feel like they are all about to merge. And it's going to be a wrap. And then we'll be back to cable, right? After they make all the money that they're going to make, they're going to go back to the systems that always work. I got that one. God's Q said, Brian, keep trying. I love it. If it's meant for you, God can do anything, no matter what it looked like. That's right, because God can do anything, but what? Fail. If it's for you, it's going to happen, Brian. Byron, I love the fact that you keep on trying, though. Oh, he's always trying to buy a studio. They never let it happen. He's been trying to do this. God, I feel like he's been trying to buy stuff since I was a kid, which was not that long ago. he got the coin to do it. I feel like that might be an easier buy, especially now what WE is going through, but they just sold to Netflix, so that's not happen. That won't happen. Yes, and the Weather Channel. And the Weather Channel. A pimp named Nasty. Nesto, okay. Said, heck, he could even twist it to promote an American channel and have black players running it. Like, he could do a lot of things. Like, they don't know what he's going to do. And that's the thing. They don't know. Right? The one outcome that they're concerned about is that he's going to turn it into a Black Power network. That's scary. That's scary because look at what Black Americans have been able to do globally concerning just our civil rights. Natural born leaders. Any environment you take us out of, we're going to lead. We're going to lead. Yes. I literally had a friend say, I don't eat watermelon in front of white people. That freaking character. That caricature. Powerful. 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 Thank you, God's Q. Thank you. Georgia Peach said, just now seeing this post on BET's IG with the New York Times discrediting. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. See, a pimp named Nasty said, Taylor Swift has brought so much PR to the NFL. I was forced to know about it against my will. She's doing her job. She's doing her job. Could you imagine having two of those, I think it was the Lions and the Ravens, I believe. Those black teams playing at the Super Bowl for Black History Month. They didn't need that. They didn't need that. They didn't need that. Thank you. Thank you so much. I did too. Thank you, Alice. Alice said, I had a good time hanging with you all tonight. I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. Same thing. I agree. Same thing. Have a good weekend, guys. Ken said, yay, I made it live. Nikki, I love when you do hot topics. Thank you. Trending topics. Hot topics is Wendy Williams. Yes, but I said what she's attracted to. What she's attracted to. That happens to a lot of them. Spency said, Justin Timberlake is the worst for what he did to Britney and Jen. And I think my issues with him is that he didn't stand up for two women. And honestly, I get it. I get it. He was very young, guys. He's very young, but he's not helping himself. Beck said, here's the thing about Britney and Justin. She never said a word. He used both her and Janet to skyrocket his career. He talked mad smack for many years. Now he's free and can express. I still think that was his team. I don't think he was making those decisions, but still, like I said, his comments today is not helping his image. Spency said that Keith Lee situation was so horrible. She literally blocked her blessings. Yeah. And she can't blame anybody but herself. She can't blame anybody but herself. DGF says, speaking of Keith Lee, we had a delicious meal at Atlanta's The Real Milk and Honey in a packed house. Crab and grits with black salmon, chicken and waffles, and fried lobster biscuits with mimosas. Is that the original one or the one that man created? Because there's two. So I don't know. I do not know. But I know the one that was created, the one that is owned by the one of the original owners who's a woman, that's the one that everybody says to go to. Beck said, I teach ESL to kids in China. My youngest just turned 4. She takes classes with me at 7:30 p.m. her time. She can read, speak in simple sentences, and the school prepares them for Ivy Leagues here. America don't want it with them. America don't want it with them. I want to get 2 more, and then we're going to go. The end of the age says so many people don't know about Byron Allen. He was in the Beverly Hills Housewives, and they didn't name check him. Yeah, he flies under the radar. And that's another thing. Like, Byron just don't look like, no shade. If I was the white elite, I wouldn't give him any opportunities either. Because you don't know what his next move is going to be. You don't know. You don't know. He flies under the radar and then just comes out and says, I got $50 billion. Let me buy this. What? Where have you been, Byron? What have you been doing? No. No. I thought it was a smart move. I knew it wasn't going to happen. Just like with Oprah, Tyler Perry, the former owner of BET all came together and they were trying to buy, it was when that old guy, they were trying to buy the Lakers, I think. Remember that old guy? He got caught in some controversy by saying some racist stuff about black people. And he had that black girlfriend with the visors. Him, I forget his name. But that's when everybody started getting those visors, and that went viral. But they all came together to buy that team. And I think it was the Lakers. They all came together to buy the team. They had the best offer and they turned them down. Turned them down. Shonda said, please like the video and subscribe to get Nikki to 16K. Thank you so much. Smart. I hope she does. She got some Harvard elite people who I think will, young progressives who I think will absolutely invest in her network. And I think she's a powerhouse. She's a powerhouse. If anybody can do it, it's her. The Clippers, thank you. They all came together. They had a nice deal. And they said, oh no. Can you imagine a black-owned black team? Crazy. The images of all those black owners sitting in the front where their black team plays and wins, you change everything with that. The hands of power change. Absolutely not. That's why I always say the poor and working class, no matter their culture, need to just work together, right? Because working class and poor white people get the same treatment and oppression that black people get, that Asian people get, that Mexican people get. And here is why. The systems that are put in place to oppress us will also oppress you if you do not have the money to buy yourself out of the oppression that we currently live in, right? So if you're a poor working class and even middle class, and you had to pay for college like every other black person, and you are in debt, you're straddled with debt, that's because black people started to go to universities and college and take advantage of the free college and free classes that were given, and they were doing it more than white people. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, college started to cost, right? Started to cost money. Same thing, black people, free black people buying up properties and creating successful black communities. You can't bomb them anymore, right? So what do? You create this fake system called credit. Now everybody's under that. But all of these systems that oppress people don't affect the wealthy, don't affect the elite. You, white person, you're going to die in debt for a degree that you ain't never going to use because of racism. And although you're white, it's going to affect you as well, because you might have the skin, but you don't have the capital to buy yourself out of that oppression. Now, yes, a cop will kill me before they kill you, even if we live in the same neighborhood. That's all you got. Is that enough? Is that enough? You were promised a better life and you never got it because you don't have the capital. You got that white skin and you living like a black person. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. Sure was. Only in America. Only in America. All of these systems are very young. We're living under systems that our parents didn't even live under. Our parents didn't grow up with credit. Our parents grew up with free universities. Child, our parents grew up with affordable housing. That's why your grandma, the only person in the family that owned a home, because she could buy it for $40 back then. Not today. Because we established black banks and we were giving out loans to black people who were coming to buy homes. But not if you blow up the banks. Not if you think Black Wall Street was the only black neighborhood that was blown up. Let's move on. Let's move on. I don't know. The way I'm talking, probably never. We will see. We will see. A huge hustle. I'm telling you, the Supreme Court and credit agencies. That is my goal. I want to see them come down in the Electoral College, but those two, I want to see them come down in my lifetime. And that is my mission. That is my goal. I have planted that seed and I will see it harvest. I will see it harvest. I will see it harvest. Everyone. You white, but me and you both, we both in the WIC office. Like, what's going on? Why are you here? You shouldn't be here. It affects everyone. The crack epidemic was supposed to take out my community. But now the opioid epidemic is taking out your community. But because it's only affecting the poor ones, they do not care. Poor and working class communities, y'all better work together and get some stuff done before it's too late. I love y'all. Let's end on something positive. Let's have a good weekend. Nisha, celebrate. Have a great time. And I will see you soon for something else. Love you all. 89. And look how it is crippled. Look how it has crippled the poor and working class communities. Look how it has crippled you. It's crazy. It's insane. Everything is by design. You are the majority. You are the 99%. You can do it. Love you all. I'll see you soon for something else. Bye. I got to watch Ready to Love. I know that.